We've had a lot of success with our homeless efforts, with our efforts to crack down on known drug houses, right? Kind of serial offenders that have been operating in our city for a very long time. We've known who they are, but in working with Sheriff's Department personnel, our code enforcement, our city attorney's office,
the DA's office,
the DA's office, to really crack down, and it's working.
It is working. So yeah, we've killed it when it comes to homelessness, in my opinion.
Just to clarify, we're not killing the homeless people.
No.
That's not
we're definitely not doing that.
Okay, good.
We're definitely not doing that.
No,
that's the rumor, though. The rumor is that we load them up in a car and drop them off in a dump site somewhere.
Right, which is not at all what we're doing. And we're going to. I do want to dig into that, because that homeless strategic plan and the execution of that plan have been tremendously successful over the last less than a year since it launched. I've lived in Yucaipa since 2015. I was working as city manager in the city of Canyon Lake for 4 years before coming here. And so living in this community over the past several years, I witnessed firsthand the increase in homelessness in our streets, and it frustrated me to no end. And I was wondering what was being done about it. I know that a member of the city council, Matt Garner, when he decided to run for city council 2 years ago, it was the homeless issue that prompted him to. He had an incident that happened at a restaurant that he had to step in and provide aid to an elderly couple, and that was the final straw for him. And he said, why isn't the city doing more about this issue? And not just the fact that there are homeless people and that number was growing, but the crime and the blight that came along with that, because. In Yucaipa, and I'm sure this is the same in many other communities, it seems that so many of our homeless are also involved with illegal narcotics, addiction and mental health issues. But with drug addiction comes crime, theft, burglaries, public health issues, and as our community was heading more and more in that direction, it was very troublesome to me. And so it was music to my ears when I first started, when I was told by the city council, priority number one is public safety, and specifically getting a hold of this homeless issue. Yeah. Right. And so we put together a homeless strategic plan. You did the first draft. Yeah. Then I took it from there, and I made revisions, and we went back and forth and just hammered it out. And of course there was.
I got to give a lot of credit to Joe.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of credit.
Yep. Joe did a lot of work on that, Joe Perdetto. Of course, with a lot of guidance from the city attorney's office to make sure that we weren't crossing any legal lines that would get us into trouble, but finding creative ways to use the laws that are on the books to crack down and to provide services, right? I think one of the things that have made this plan so successful, and by the way, it has been so successful that other cities have reached out and asked, what are you? I remember early on,
other cities and the county.
And the county. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Well, I remember early on, one of our neighboring cities reached out, and they said, what are you guys doing? Like we've been asking our homeless people that we're not familiar with, where'd you come from? And they're saying Yucaipa. Yeah. And that's a new phenomenon. They actually asked us if we could refer them to the consultant. That's right. That put our plan together.
Yeah. They said they saw our plan online and they were really impressed. They wanted to come talk to us, and we sat down and talked together. And besides the fact that they said one of the persons who came to the meeting, frequents Yucaipa a lot, and he said that he's noticed a massive difference. Yeah. And in his daily work, he comes across a lot of people that have moved from being homeless in Yucaipa to being homeless in Redlands, combined with the fact that he saw this plan online and he wanted to talk to us and find out what consultant we hired to write that plan and how we designed our team and what they're doing on a daily basis.
Yeah. No, that was a nice compliment, even though he didn't know he was complimenting us.
Yeah.
And so we launched the homeless strategic plan was approved by the city council in September of last year. And by the time we got everything organized and, hit the ground running. We were in October. Point in time count happens in January.
Yep.
And so basically 3 months of actual operations.
Yes.
That number in January was 41% lower than it had been the previous January.
Yeah, in 3 months.
In 3 months. That 41% is probably low. Because I believe that from the prior January, the numbers had actually increased on the streets of Yucaipa. And so even though the number was 41% lower than it had been a year ago, it had probably come down a lot more than that, in 3 months. And we know that since January, the numbers have gone down quite a bit more. There are days where it's hard to find a homeless individual on the streets of Yucaipa.
Yeah, we're lucky to live in this community.
Yeah, no, we really are. But I want to talk about what makes the plan successful, because I think there are a lot of people in this community, and rightfully so, that are that have big hearts and are concerned about those who are homeless on the street, and they want to make sure that our plan is not simply going out and busting knees and moving people to another community. That's not what's happening here at all. I've been really proud at the number of people we've been able to connect with services and get a roof over their heads. We lead with Helping Hand. One of the cornerstones of our strategic homeless plan is the solutions-oriented policing team, or the SOP team.
Yep.
And you head that team.
Yep.
And that team consists of 2 sheriff's deputies.
Correct.
We created a new code enforcement officer position that's assigned strictly to the SOP team.
Yes.
She's phenomenal. She came to us from the city of Manning and had a lot of experience with homelessness coming in.
Yeah.
It includes county Department of Behavioral Health social workers.
Yeah, two county Department of Behavioral Health social workers.
Yep, and they have all the connections of services that are available countywide. So not just in the city of Yucaipa, but anywhere that there are services they can help connect people with. And of course, that SOP team works in conjunction with our park rangers and our public works department, right?
Yep.
And so that team goes out every single day and makes contact with every homeless person that they find, first offering services. How can we help? But unfortunately, as we know, so many, probably over 90% of the homeless individuals that we encounter refuse help, especially initially, right?
For the most part, yes.
And that's fine. But in Yucaipa, if you're going to refuse help, okay, but you can't be causing trouble, right? You can't be committing crime on the streets of Yucaipa. It's not, one of my favorite lines in the Homeless Strategic Plan is that it is not a crime to be homeless, but it also should not be an excuse to commit crime.
Yeah.
Right. We will not tolerate crime here in Yucaipa, regardless of your housing status.
Correct.
Right? And so if you're not willing to accept help, okay, but you can't be shooting up on the street, leaving needles, defecating in front of a business, blocking a sidewalk, creating blight, right? We're not going to tolerate that here in Yucaipa. And so we enforce the law. We enforce it heavily. I think our hope is that people will accept help. But if they don't, we're going to contact them every single day until they accept help, get caught doing something illegal, or they decide they'd rather be somewhere where they're not going to get contacted every single day.
Yeah, I think Mayor Beaver, said it best. He said, it doesn't matter whether you live in a cardboard box or a mansion. The law is going to be enforced the same,
right?
Equally.
I know that residents in the community have noticed a difference. Our businesses have noticed a difference. In fact, at a recent city council meeting, one of our business owners in the Uptown, who is also very active with our Chamber of Commerce, stood up at the podium and said, "This is really working. I mean, this is, I don't know what you guys are doing, but it's working. Thank you. Please keep doing it." In fact, do we have that video?
People in the Uptown have noticed a remarkable difference in the number of transients and the problems that we've been having. And I know that all of the business owners there truly appreciate what has been done with that.
Yeah. That's awesome. I hadn't seen that.
You had, yeah, no, I mean, and we're getting that kind of feedback on a regular basis now, where people are really noticing.
We also have a letter to the editor.
Oh, let's see it. Kudos to Lieutenant Steve Scoville and his team for the amazing solutions-oriented policing plan for handling homeless issues in Yucaipa. I've never seen a plan that comprehensive and thorough for dealing with all the different aspects of this issue. Well done, and thank you. Blessings on your efforts, your team, and those who are working so hard on helping.
That's awesome.
Wayne Purcell. Yeah,
I hadn't seen that either.
I love seeing positive letters because normally it's when someone's upset or unhappy about something that they're motivated to write. So for someone to take the time to send that in, it's
awesome.
They feel passionate about it, and they've noticed a big difference.
I heard something from a gentleman who was a proprietor of a business down off Calamasa and County Line Road. This business had been plagued with homelessness. He was one of the frequent callers into the city and callers into the sheriff's department saying, hey, what are you guys going to do about this? I just heard last night that, the SOP team, they end up just, parking in their parking lot, showing a presence, flying the star, and, writing their reports and stuff like that, trying to dissuade people from hanging out in his parking lot. And he came out and said, I don't know what you guys are doing, but it's working because I don't see anybody down here anymore. And, I have another property up in Uptown, and, we go out for lunch, we go out for dinner, and we used to be, kind of attacked by all these homeless, begging for money and, sleeping next to our parked car. And he said, I don't see any of them anymore.
That goes to the quality of life here in Yucaipa, right? It's amazing to see that progress. Right. We really want to provide help to those who want help. And the truth of the matter is, in San Bernardino County, there are so many resources. There is really no reason why someone has to be on the streets here in San Bernardino County and in Yucaipa. So what I want the community to understand is that we're here to help, but we're also here to keep our community safe. Yeah. Right. And we need people's help. We need people to stop doing some things that enable and attract homelessness. There's an anti-panhandling campaign. I believe the phrase is a real change, not spare change. Right.
Correct. Yeah.
Because when you just give a homeless person money, it enables them to stay on the street. It enables usually their drug habit. Right. And so, but what I also really want to ask the community for their help with is reporting when they see people in need. If you see someone who's homeless or seems to be high on drugs, talking to themselves, in bad shape, please don't feel that if you report that, you're doing something to hurt that person. Mm-hmm. It's the opposite. That person needs help. Yeah. And we're here to help. We're here to offer help to those individuals, and at the same time to protect our community and protect our quality of life. Yeah. I can't tell you how proud I am of this program and the work you and the SOP team are doing. This is one of the most tangible ways I think the public can see the improvements that are going on in our community, the quality of life improvements in our community. And so, thank you.
It's not me, sir. It's the people that we work with every single day, that are a part of this team. They're the ones out there every single day, hitting the streets, and, they deserve the recognition.